Good morning, everybody. Don't be shy. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good. My name is Rob, and I'm a puppeteer, and I'm going to take you on a little tour around the world. Did you know that there are puppets in every country of every part of the world? And today I'm going to show you some of the different kinds of puppets that people use in each different country. Now, the first kind of puppet show that you're going to see, if you look at behind me, you see this big screen. This is not going to be for a movie. This is going to be for a special kind of puppet show. It's called shadow puppets. Over here is a shadow puppet. It's from a country in Indonesia called Java. This is a Javanese shadow puppet, and they're moved by sticks or rods, and they're cut out of buffalo hide. And if the buffalo had hit, he wouldn't be in this mess right now. But this is, somebody actually took little punches and cut out all these hundreds of tiny little holes, and the puppeteer stands behind a screen. And when the light comes through the screen, you can see all of the light projected on the screen, just like that. And that's what we call a shadow puppet. There are shadow puppets in every country of the world, mostly Germany and China and Africa. And the first story I'm going to do for you today is a Bantu tribe story from Africa, and it's called Who's in Rabbit's House? So here we go. Watch the screen. We're going to get started.
Someone must be in my house. Who's in Rabbit's house?
I am the lone one. I eat trees and trample on elephants. Go away, or I will trample you.
Oh, dear. Oh, someone's in my house. What am I gonna do?
Rabbit? 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 I will get him out.
You're too small. Go away, little frog. Nobody. Somebody's in my house.
Hey, Rabbit. What's your problem? Why are you crying?
Somebody's in my house and they won't leave.
We'll see about that. Who's in Rabbit's house? I am the long one. I eat trees and trample on elephants. Go away, or I will trample you. Trample me, huh? This guy's got a serious bad attitude. Come on, Rabbit. Let's go and get some sticks.
Sticks? Oh, I know where there's some sticks. Come on, let's go. All right, I'll just pile these sticks over here, and I'll go get some more.
Well, I can't find any sticks anywhere. Hey, there's some sticks right here. I'll just go and make a pile over there.
Well, let's see, that should be enough. Hey, what happened to my sticks? Oh, now I gotta go and find some more.
Well, I just need to find one more. Well, looky here, more sticks. What do you know about that?
Well, that's all I can find. Hey, what happened to my sticks?
See here, Rabbit, look at all the sticks I found. You didn't find any. Trying to help you, I don't get any cooperation.
Those are my sticks. I mean, well, what are we gonna do with all these sticks?
Well, step back and I'll show you. Now let me just click these two stones together.
What are you doing? You'll burn my house down.
That's the idea. That'll get the long one out.
Oh, I gotta put this out.
Hey, what'd you go and do that for and put it out?
Get out of here, would you? Go on. Oh, dear. Now what am I gonna do?
Ribbit, hey, Rabbit, I will get him out.
Look, Frog, I told you already, you're too little to help, so go away. Look out! Oh, did I scare you? Hey, Rabbit, what's the matter? Oh, Leopard, there's something in my house. And Jackal tried to set my house on fire. That's what's the matter.
Really? Who's in Rabbit's house? I am the long one. I eat trees and trample on elephants. Go away, or I will trample you.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see what he thinks of this. Where are you going? What are you doing up on my roof? I'm gonna tear the roof off this place. Don't do that. You're gonna let the rain in. Look, Leopard, just get out of here.
Ribbit, hey, Rabbit, I will...
You will not, but you go on. You're too small. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing anybody can do. What am I gonna do?
Hello, Rabbit. You look very sad. What's the matter?
Well, there's somebody in my house and he won't leave. And Jackal tried to burn my house down and Leopard tried to tear my roof off and I'm having a very bad day.
Oh, well, who is in Rabbit's house?
I am the long one. I eat trees and trample on elephants. Go away, or I will trample you.
How rude. Well, I'll teach him some manners.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to stomp him out.
No, please don't do that. Oh, you're gonna mess up my house, please.
Well, there's no helping some people.
Ribbit, hey, Rabbit,
Will you get out of here?
Who's there? Is that Rabbit?
Yes, it's Rabbit, you nearsighted fool.
Why are you crying, Rabbit?
Well, somebody's in my house and he won't leave. And Jackal and Leopard and... Oh, it's a long story.
Well, who is in Rabbit's house? I am the long one. I eat trees and trample on elephants. Go away, or I will trample you. Well, I'll get him out. Get out of the way, Rabbit.
What are you doing?
Get out of the way, Rabbit.
What are you doing?
Get out of the way, Rabbit. Rabbit, what are you doing in the pond? Well, I guess it's his bath time. Oh well.
I'm all wet. Now what am I gonna do?
Ribbit, hey, Rabbit, I'm gonna get that guy out of your house. Who is in Rabbit's house? I am the long one. I eat trees and trample on elephants. Go away or I will trample you. Here, Rabbit. Come here, check this out.
What's that thing?
It's a horn of leaves. It's gonna make my voice loud too. Now step back, step back. I am the spitting cobra. I will slide under the door and spit poison in your eyes.
Did you say a spitting cobra?
Mm-hmm.
Cobra? Help, 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 help. That was the long one? A caterpillar?
It certainly was a long one.
Well, that was a shadow puppet show, and the next show I'm going to do for you is from China, and it uses two different types of puppets, hand puppets and rod puppets. Now this is another puppet from Java, the same country as the other one, and this is a rod puppet. It has sticks or rods, and they're operated from below. A person can put their hand up inside and make the head go back and forth and so on, and move the body back and forth. And they're really good for dancing and things like that. But one of the things that's really special about this type of puppet, which is called wayang golek, is that it can change its face. It has its kind of nice face on this side, and it has a scary face on this side. And it can turn around just like that and change his expression. So in this next story, one of my characters needs to change from happy to sad and back again. And that puppet is a rod or a stick puppet. The rest of the puppets are hand puppets, and I wear them on my hand like this. This would be the puppet's head, and these are the puppet's hands. So I'm going to do this next story inside of this little stage. It's going to take me a second to get inside of this, but then I'm going to do the story of the empty pot from China. So here we go. Once upon a time, there was a little village in China where everyone loved flowers. The people grew them in their homes and in their gardens, and the air smelled like perfume. There was one little boy, though, whose name was Ping. Ping grew flowers better than anyone else. He could make flowers grow as if by magic. The emperor of this small kingdom was getting old, and he loved flowers as much as anyone, and had to decide who would be the new emperor. Someone who loved flowers as much as he did. And so the emperor made a proclamation. All of the boys and girls will come to my palace tomorrow. I will give each child one flower seed. At the end of 1 year's time, the boy or girl who brings me the most beautiful flower will be the new emperor. When Ping heard this, he was delighted.
Woohoo!
Because he knew he could grow the most beautiful flower in all the land. And so, Ping went to the emperor's palace with thousands of other children. And there he got one tiny, precious flower seed. Then he went to his garden, and he brought out a wheelbarrow full of rich, dark, moist,
And heavy.
earth. Then Ping got one small flower pot from his father's garden. An empty pot. Very carefully, Ping filled the flower with the earth. Carefully, he planted the seed. He gave it water and sunlight. He began to wait for something to grow. When nothing grew, Ping decided he needed a larger pot. He transferred the rich dark earth and the seed and began the process all over again. Soon a year had passed, and it was a new year, the Chinese New Year, and people celebrated with fireworks. Beautiful paper dragons danced in the streets. And all of the boys and girls in the kingdom went to the emperor's palace to show him the beautiful flowers that they had grown. All except for Ping. For no matter how hard Ping had tried, all year long, nothing had grown in the empty pot. So Ping decided not to go to the emperor's palace. But then Ping's father said, Ping, why do you not go to the emperor's palace?
Because, Father, nothing would grow in this empty pot. I worked very hard and nothing would grow.
Ping, did you do your best?
Yes, Father, I did my best.
Your best is good enough for the emperor. Bring him the pot and tell him you did your best. He will understand.
Yes, Father.
Ping went to the emperor's palace, where he saw the most beautiful flowers he had ever seen, grown by thousands of children. But the emperor was not happy. When Ping presented him with an empty pot, he said, Why do you present an empty pot?
Your Majesty, I worked very hard and nothing would grow. I did my best.
When the emperor heard this, he smiled and said, Where these children got these flowers from, I do not know, for the seeds I have given to all of you had been boiled. It was impossible for any flower to grow. Only Ping was honest enough to present me with the empty, honest truth. And for that, I will make him emperor. That is the story of the empty pot. Right. Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as I get out of this, there we go. There. We're going to present a story from Italy. And how many of you guys like spaghetti? Quite a lot of you, I can tell. You know, in Italy they call it pasta. Would you guys like pasta if you had to eat it every single day, though? What if you had to eat it 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I don't know about that, but this is a story about someone who had to do just that. This is a story from Italy. Actually, my grandparents are from Italy, but this story is different because this one makes sense. This is a story about someone who had to eat a lot of spaghetti, and it's called Strega Nona. Once upon a time, in a small village in Calabria, there lived a little old lady that everyone called Strega Nona, which means Grandma Witch. Although all the people in the town spoke about her in whispers, they went to see Strega Nona if they had troubles because she had a magic touch. She could cure a headache with oil, water, and a hairpin. She made magic potions for the girls who wanted husbands. And she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Strega Nona was getting old.
Oh, my back. Wait. Not a good sign.
And so she put up a sign in the town square for someone to help her keep her little house and garden. And Big Anthony, who never pays attention, came to see her. And Strega Nona said,
Anthony, I want you to help me to keep my house. I want you to sweep the house, to wash the dishes. Anthony, pay attention, huh? I want you to milk the goat. And for this, I'm going to give you 3 coins, a place to sleep, and food to eat. But, Anthony, pay attention, huh? But the one thing you must never do is touch my pasta pot. You promise?
and Big Anthony said, "Oh, sì, Strega Nonna, yes, grazie, Strega Nonna." And so Big Anthony went to work. Anthony, go to work. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. He swept the house. It's dusty in there. He washed the dishes. Uh-oh. And he milked the goat. La, 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 la. Oops. Yeah. I wasn't paying attention. La, 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 la. Here we go. You, goat. Goat. Goaty, goaty, goaty. Hey, La Capra, come here. Meh. Oh, don't be like that. Meh. Come on, don't be like that. Okay. Now, goat, you see the bucket. Hey, milk. What's the matter for you? I say that milk. Milk, milk, milk.
Big Anthony, you don't pay attention.
What do you mean?
I'm not an enemy goat, I'm a billy goat. That guy, he gets my goat.
One day, while Big Anthony was taking care of the chores, I'd like to take care of that goat, let me tell you. He heard Strega Nona singing.
Oh, solo mio.
He looked in the window, and this is what he saw. Strega Nona was standing in front of her pasta pot, and she was singing to it. She sang,
Bobbla, bobbla, pasta pot, boil me some pasta, nice and hot. I'm hungry, it is a time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up.
and the pasta pot boiled, and it bubbled, bloop, and it was suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. And Big Anthony thought to himself, oh, that's a magic pasta pot for sure. And then, when the pot was all full, Strega Nona sang,
Enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day.
And Big Anthony thought, oh, wait until everyone hears about this. And he stopped paying attention. If he had paid attention, he would have seen Strega Nona blow 3 kisses.
Mwah. Mwah. Mwah.
And the pot stopped cooking. Well, the very next day, Big Anthony went to the town square to tell everyone what he had seen at Strega Nona's house. He couldn't believe it to himself. It was the most amazing thing he'd ever seen. Hey, you guys don't believe this. Check this out. I was at Strega Nona's. You know what she do? She go like this. She go, boobla, beebla, bobbla, boobla, bop. Next thing you know, pasta everywhere. Well, everybody laughed at him. Go ahead, you can laugh now. I mean, it was ridiculous. A pasta pot that cooked all by itself. Woo! And Big Anthony, he was angry, and he said, you don't believe me? Wait and see. I will make the pasta pot work. Well, the very next day, Strega Nona said,
Anthony! Anthony! You! Where is he? He's not inside. He's not outside. Anthony! Leave the goat alone. Come here. Anthony. I'm going to the next town to see my friend Strega Amelia. So when I'm gone, you wash the dishes, you sweep the house, hey, pay attention, huh? And there are some bread and cheese in the cupboard for your lunch, but whatever you do, don't touch the pasta pot. You promise?
And Big Anthony said, oh, si, Strega Nona, yes, grazie, Strega Nona. As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony snuck in the house. He took the pasta pot off of the shelf and put it on the floor and said, let's see if I can remember the words. Oh, yes. Bobbla, bobbla, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry, it is a time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up. And the pasta pot bubbled, and it boiled, and it was suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. And Big Anthony ran to the town square and said, everybody get your forks and plates and platters and bowls. Pasta for all at Strega Nona's house. Big Anthony, I'm a making a pasta pot work. Well, everyone laughed at him again. Go ahead, you can laugh at him. But when they got to Strega Nona's house, Big Anthony was handing out spaghetti to everybody. Here, everybody got a catch, okay? You guys catch the pasta comes out. And after everyone had had 2 helpings, 3 helpings, 4 helpings, everybody was standing around like this. Because they were so full. And when everybody was finished, Big Anthony got a great big round of applause. Everybody give him a nice round of applause. He went back inside and he said the magic words. Enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down in my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. But he didn't know about what. And why not? That's right. He went out to get some more bows. Everybody can give him some more applause. But what he didn't know was that the pasta was beginning to bubble out of the pot and onto the floor. Big Anthony, look. Oh, maybe I didn't say it right. Enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down in my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. Yeah, boy. It's not a good sign. Anybody got an empty pasta? Watch out, the pasta, she's attacking! The pasta was attacking. It was pouring out of the windows. It was pouring out of the doors. It was pouring right down the middle of the street. The pasta was going to take over the town, and the people, you're the people, yelled, help, help! It was too late, the pasta was attacking! At that very moment, who should come back but Strega Nona? She knew just what to do. She went to the pasta pot and sang,
Enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot, so simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day.
and what did she do? Everybody help her, ready? Stop cooking, and everyone cheered for their hero, Strega Nona! But when they saw Big Anthony, they were pretty upset. Somebody even yelled, "String him up!" But Strega Nona said, wait, aspetta, the punishment must fit the crime. Anthony, you wanted some pasta? Start eating! Uh-oh. And so, Big Anthony ate, and ate, and... And that's the story of Strega. All right. Well, we're going to have some house lights come up because now is the part of the show where we answer questions from the audience. If you guys have a question. Now, a question is not telling me about your dog or you have toys. A question is if you have something that you want to know about the show today. And grown-ups can ask questions, too, to help us out. So maybe some of the teachers have some questions here today. Does anybody have any questions? Otherwise, it's a very short show. None of the teachers had any questions? Like, why does a grown man play with dolls for a living? Or anything like that? Or, huh? No question? That's a good question. I love it a lot. If you like something a lot, stick with it, okay? Yes, there's a question from this lady. Everyone else is going to listen so we can hear the questions, okay? Yes?
No. They actually come from the country?
No, these are all, I make all the puppets I use in the shows. I do all the sculpting and the painting, and my wife does the costumes. But the puppets from Indonesia are actually from Indonesia. Those are traditional puppets. This one's wood. Some of the other ones are like oven-baked clay. And the shadow puppets are just like cardboard. They're just little. In fact, the shadow puppets are only about that big. But because it's on a projector, it can be as big as I want to make it. So from the little puppets, shadow puppets are this big. So. Okay, any other questions? Yes, this lady over here.
Is there a reason why that they are in these particular parts of America that are the most popular?
Yes. Yes. The reason that every country in the world has puppets, it took me years to figure this out. Why does this country, with all of its immigrants, not have puppetry like the other countries? And the reason for that is because when immigrants came to this country with their traditions, they were afraid that people would make fun of them because they were different. And so they took all of their traditions and they kept them only within their community. So Italian-speaking people only did puppet shows for other Italian-speaking people, and it never made it into our cultural heritage, which is sad. So it really goes to show you, if you're a little different, don't be ashamed of being different, because it makes the society richer and better. Because ours is the only culture that doesn't really have puppets, and if it does, it's only for children. Okay? Yes, there's a question back here.
Yeah, how long have you been doing this?
I've been a professional puppeteer for going on 18 years. And basically, I still have a lot to learn. It's a lifelong profession. It's something we do over and over for years. Here's a question from a young man in the front row. These are, some of them are fables or legends, which means that they may have some basis in truth, but we don't know exactly. But mostly these are stories that people tell. The families told and other people told, and it was told from generation to generation, and then somebody finally wrote it down in a book. And that's when the stories don't change anymore too much, when they're written down. But when people used to tell them, they used to change them all the time. Any other questions? Yes, this young man here. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What? No, actually I don't, because there's an international organization called UNIMA, which is a worldwide organization of puppeteers, and also there's a national organization called Puppeteers of America. And actually, some of you guys out there, some of the teachers were converted today. Oh, I got to try learning more about this. There's an organization where you can join. You get 4 times a year, you get a magazine. They have these regional festivals, and you get to meet puppeteers from all over the world. Puppeteers from China and Germany and Japan, and you get to see their shows and you get ideas, and they're very, very open. And it doesn't matter if you don't speak their language, because puppets are international. It breaks down all the barriers. And you can meet someone from another country in the world and not speak their language. But if you know something about the puppets, they can all communicate with you. It's a really nice thing. Any other questions? This young lady way in the back. Yes. Yep, that was you. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it? Are you a young lady? Oh boy, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell. It's a lot of lights. How do I make the puppets with the stick? We have a little base on that one, but usually a puppeteer holds them. They're really not meant to just sort of stand there like that. They're usually meant to be moving and so on. So, hey, does anybody know which of the puppets from that show about China was a stick puppet? Can anybody guess which character? Just yell it out if you know. The Emperor, that's right. The Emperor was a rod or stick puppet. The rest of the characters are hand puppets. I want to thank you guys for being so patient today and waiting for the show to start. And I hope you'll read more about puppets in the library because there's a lot of interesting books. Thank you for coming and listen to your teachers. They're going to show you the way out. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.